Donald Henry Gaskins Jr., better known by his nickname Pee-wee, was one of the most brutal and sadistic serial killers in American history. Born in 1933 in the swamps of South Carolina, Gaskins was the product of extreme poverty, neglect, and abuse. He never knew his father and was raised by a mother who showed little affection. Small in stature and constantly ridiculed, Gaskins quickly turned to crime, starting with petty theft, burglary, and sexual assault. His early years were marked by repeated stays in reform schools and prisons, where he claimed to have been raped and beaten. These experiences, according to Gaskins, shaped his thirst for domination and violence. By his teens, he had already committed his first murder in a juvenile facility. After serving time for a series of violent crimes, including rape, Gaskins launched a killing spree in the 1960s that would span over a decade. He later referred to some of these murders as coastal kills, random acts of slaughter carried out along the highways and back roads of the American South. His victims were hitchhikers, runaways, drifters, people who wouldn't be missed. Gaskins lured them in with the promise of a ride or help, only to subject them to unimaginable torture. He would rape, mutilate, and kill, sometimes dismembering the bodies or burying them behind his trailer in rural Prospect, South Carolina. Though only 13 murders were officially confirmed, Gaskins claimed to have killed over 100 people. He said he was driven by an inner voice, an uncontrollable urge to cause pain and death. Investigators couldn't prove the higher number, but given his depraved methods and the consistency of his confessions, it's likely that the real count was far greater. What made Gaskins particularly terrifying was his calculated dual life. While murdering in secret, he maintained a facade of normalcy, raising children, working odd jobs, and even earning a degree of trust in his community. Gaskins didn't just kill out of convenience or necessity. He enjoyed it. Some victims were tortured for hours. Others were cannibalized. He later confessed to eating parts of his victims because it gave him a sense of power. His crimes weren't about covering tracks. They were about feeding a deep, sadistic hunger. Even behind bars, Gaskins remained lethal. In 1982, while on death row, he was hired by another inmate to kill a fellow prisoner. Gaskins rigged a makeshift bomb inside a radio and delivered it to the target. The explosion killed the inmate instantly, earning Gaskins the grim distinction of being the only death row inmate in U.S. history to commit a murder while awaiting execution. After that, the state fast-tracked his date with death. On September 6, 1991, Donald Henry Gaskins Jr. was executed by electric chair at Central Correctional Institution in Columbia, South Carolina. His last words were simple and chilling. "I'm ready to go." The man who had reveled in murder to make a name for himself left this world in silence, but the horrors he committed still echo. The full scale of his crimes may never be known. Too many victims, too many unmarked graves, too many questions. Gaskins didn't kill for money, revenge, or ideology. He killed because he liked it. He was a predator who thrived on fear and pain, a man who once said he felt pure only when torturing another human being. His story is a chilling reminder that sometimes the most monstrous people look ordinary. Pee-wee Gaskins was small, unassuming, and could blend in anywhere. But behind his crooked smile was a bottomless well of violence. He died as he lived, cold, calculated, and without remorse.